Hello and welcome back. You might have heard that a spring and summer garden is made in autumn, and it's so true. So today I'm going to show you how I sow some of my cold hardy annual flowers. So I'm going to walk you through how I sow some Statice, Scabiosa and stock as well. Now cold hardy annual flowers are flowers that are going to grow through a period of cold and be absolutely fine. So I've had so many questions, people saying, but we get frost in our area, is it still okay to sow these flowers? Yes, it's totally okay. So cold hardy annual flowers, once their roots are established, they're going to survive frosts, no worries. Now with cold hardy annual flowers, you're going to want to plant them about 6 weeks before you get that big first frost. Now that just gives the plants time for their roots to establish, and it's going to provide a nice strong base for that plant, so when we do get hit with the cold, they're going to survive. Now you're not going to see a lot of growth with these plants over winter, but their roots are doing all the work, and that just means when spring comes and the weather warms up, the plant's already got a beautiful healthy root system, so you're going to see that top growth happen really quickly, and you're going to get a much more productive plant, stronger plant, healthier plant in my experience over planting these varieties in spring. So take Statice for example, I autumn sow and occasionally spring sow. The spring sown plants just don't even compare to the ones that I've sown in autumn. They're much shorter, they're not as productive, they're not as strong, you don't get as kind of sturdy a stem from them. So Statice in particular is one that is really going to benefit from that autumn sowing and growing through a period of cold. Now I've chosen these 3 varieties to do a demonstration with today, but over on my Instagram I've got a whole post about all the cold hardy annuals that I will be sowing around this time as well. So if you are wanting a few more varieties to try, go and check out that over on my Instagram page. If you have any questions as we're going along, just pop them in the comments and I will get back to you as well. Alrighty, let's get started. So if we are talking about what supplies you're going to need for this, you're going to need some potting mix, some seed raising mix, some plant labels, some sort of tray to sow your seeds in, and a plastic tub as well if you don't have a greenhouse. I will show you mine. Just one of these big plastic Systema tubs if you're in New Zealand are great. If you wanted to cut costs for this one, you can always just forget the seed raising mix, to be honest. Some seeds definitely do benefit from using seed raising mix. It's just a lot finer. So for very, very tiny seeds that need light to germinate, you need a seed raising mix so that the seeds will sit on top of that and not get lost. But the seeds we're sowing today are all big enough that you could sow them directly onto your potting mix and they're going to be fine. They're all pretty hardy. Now I am sowing quite a large quantity of flowers, so I'm using this big tray and I'll just kind of divide it up in sections as I go with my labels. I also use these trays quite a lot. So this is a 70 cell tray originally that I must have decided I don't need 70 of something, so I've cut a few rows off. So you've got those which are individual cells, and then if you're just growing for your home garden and not to sell, you've got these 6 cell punnets which are great as well. But really anything you get your hands on. Often in Mitre 10 they have a section for these for recycling where you can pick up loads that people have dropped off that they don't need anymore. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill up my tray here with a layer of potting mix. Now I do a layer of potting mix first instead of filling the whole tray with seed raising mix, because seed raising mix is really expensive. Okay, so I have my tray here that I'm going to use, and I've got my potting mix and I'm just going to go in with that in the bottom. I'm just going to spread it out evenly. And I'm not pushing down too firm, but I also do want a little bit of a base, so I'm just kind of pushing it down, but it's not rock solid. Just making kind of a nice even layer there. Just going to add a bit more so it's just a bit closer to the top of the tray there, and you can see my tray's not super deep, but the plants are going to be happy growing in here until they're big enough to plant out in the garden. So that is my potting mix, and then I'm just going to go in with a layer of seed raising mix, and you can see here that it is very very fine. So it's not got any big chunks of bark in, like your potting mix might have. You can always just pick those out if you've got massive chunks, but this is just very fine. And because of the seeds I'm sowing, it's not really necessary, but I'll just go in with a sprinkle like so. Now you just want to water that in really well. You don't want to blast it with a high pressure hose because you're just going to dislodge everything and it's probably going to all wash away. But a nice soak with a watering can or a hose that's not on full power is great. So these are what Statice seeds look like. They're pretty small, but not as small as, say, your Snapdragon seeds. You can still see them very easily. All I'm going to do with these Statice seeds is I'm going to take them one by one and I'm just going to drop them on top of the potting mix. And I'm leaving maybe about an inch gap along my tray. If you're sowing in the 6 cell punnets, 2 in each cell is fine. I always tend to do 2 just in case one doesn't germinate. And these seeds aren't very expensive, so I'm not too fussed about having 2 germinate in one cell. But I'm just going along with my seeds and I'm literally just dropping them on top of the mix. I'm not burying any holes, they're just going straight on top. And if I end up with 2 that are close together, I'm not stressed about that either. They're going to be fine. And I might even just do a few extra along there because I want quite a lot of them. But yeah, literally just dropping them on top. So after you've done that with your tray, you are just going to take your tub. I'm trying to do this without spilling it, but I have just a couple of centimetres of water in the bottom there, and I'm just going to pop this on the floor and then pop my tray in there and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is the tray that I've just sown of Statice, now sitting in its plastic tub with a little bit of water on the bottom there. Okay, so let's move on to our Scabiosa now. Now, I really love the Scabiosa Snow Maiden. It's my favourite variety. I also love Black Knight, and I sow a few of Salmon Queen, but I don't find myself reaching for the Salmon Queen as much as I do the Black Knight and the Snow Maiden. But that's just my personal preference. Look into the colours that you like and just grow what you want to grow. Now I'll show you what Scabiosa seeds look like. They look very different to those Statice seeds. Hoping it'll focus. There we go. So they're much bigger and they're kind of like little fairy hats. There's an aeroplane. I know I'm going to have so many of these self-sown in the garden. I'm just going to show you how I sow these in a 6 cell punnet, which is great if you are just wanting a few for your home garden as well. So I have filled that with potting mix and I'm just going to go in with a little sprinkle of my seed raising mix. On the top there, I'll just give that a bit more of a water. This is Snow Maiden here, Scabiosa, so it's still flowering in my garden, but a lot of them have now gone to seed. So I could also just sow those, and they are popping up all by themselves down there. Sorry for the focus. Yeah, they're all self-seeding down there as well. So once you've got one plant of Scabiosa, you're going to have it forever. Just sprinkle those down there. Got your little fairy hat Scabiosa seeds. I'm just going to put, I'll probably do 2 in each one, just in case some don't germinate. And with these, I'm just going to tuck them in with my nail. I have found that you can totally just pop them on top, but I found they do benefit from just a partial tucking in. So they're still totally on the top because all the seeds that I'm sowing today, they need light to germinate. So if you go and poke your finger in and plop the seed in and then bury it, they're not going to germinate, so they need light. And it's always good to do a bit of research into the seeds you're sowing too, just to see what the light requirements are, how many days they take to germinate, what temperature they like to germinate. It's all going to be helpful information. So they're in there just like so. You can see those just still on the top, but I've just give them a little poke down with my fingernail. And I'm going to pop my label in so I don't forget what I've sown. And I'm just going to put this in the exact same tub as our Statice seeds. So these are the seeds that I'm going to be sowing of stock. They are stock iron apricot, and stock have the most beautiful smell to them as well. So if you're looking for a cut flower that's going to fill your home with a beautiful scent, sow some stock. This is just my finer seed raising mix again, like the other two trays. There's a big chunk of bark there from the potting mix, so I'll just throw that out. These are your stock seeds, so they're just like little tiny discs. And again, I am just going to plop these on the top of the potting mix. And you can just see the little seeds sat on top of the mix there. Tiny. Now with my tub, I am just going to pop the lid on them until they germinate, because it's going to create a nice humid environment. It's going to make sure the seeds don't dry out while I'm at work by accident. And you can see I've got some, there's way too much water in here by the way, underneath. But I've got some seedlings in here that I've just pricked out actually because way too many germinated. But yeah, there's too much water in there. I just put enough that they've got a water source, not heaps, because it can go mouldy in this warm weather. I'm peeking above my table, but I hope you found today's video useful. It really helps me if you subscribe to my channel. I actually have some exciting news coming up in my personal life, which is going to make it a little easier for me to be more consistent with my YouTube content. So yeah, when I'm ready to announce that to the world, you will know too. So yeah, I really appreciate you watching and following along. I will see you next time.